As we are about to start, just a few reminders. Keep yourself muted unless you are allowed to speak. Hence, you are required to turn on your camera for the entire duration of the webinar. And kindly switch your mobile phone to silent mode to avoid interruption. And do not forget to take down notes on the insights and important key takeaways during the webinar proper. Thank you for your kind attention. And do not forget also to rename your username using the following format: student organization _ name, last name, first name, middle initial. Thank you. A few reminders. Keep yourself muted unless you are allowed to speak. Hence, you are required to turn on your camera for the entire duration of the webinar. Kindly switch your mobile phones to silent mode to avoid interruption. And do not forget to take down notes on the insights and important key takeaways during the webinar proper. Kindly rename your Zoom account also with the following format: student organization _ last name, first name, and the middle initial. And we encourage everyone also to use our Zoom background. The drive link is sent on the chat box. Thank you. It's a wonderful Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock Filipino time. It's time for another mental health awareness webinar series. Participants, get packed as we explore the practical strategies for strengthening resilience and promoting cognitive, emotional, and social development. Headed by the College of Teacher Education, College Student Government, supported by the College of Teacher Education faculty and staff, and College of Teacher Education students across 8 accredited academic organizations. And given the second day of May 2023, live on Zoom, this is Strengthening Resilience Strategies for Cognitive, Emotional, and Social Development. I am Christine Nicole Idana, your CTE-CSG Secretary, your Master of Ceremony. Now, without any further delay, we would like to start this program with an opening prayer and to be followed by the singing of our national anthem and university hymn.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times you have offended you. Continue to guide and protect us, Lord. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with prayer and intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اللهم وحد صفوفنا بين المسلمين والنصارى واللوماد إلى صراطك المستقيم. اللهم امنحهم العيش بالأمن والسلامة والتنمية المستدامة في مدينة دافاو. اللهم لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amoy nen manama kami gimot tolangon, manotod kakaroson no, si koikaw kami dokul tolangon, huway migtumpi to tano, si koikaw kami bohoy to kopianan tolangon na maotaw, pusako kapusong no, kana akong to pabulos koy, o agbuyo koikaw, huway bohoy kat pabur, kahalaan, kalinaw, to kanami, no pag-ugpo, huway kasabok kakoy, oyot kalambuk. Kay kuro tamana kakodin panubad way pag-ampo, kaupianan igboy no, way kakoy kong imono, way kahalaan ka lang.
Bayang magiliw pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting sa manlulupig. Di ka pasisingil sa dagat at bundok, sa simuya, sa langit mga bagha. May dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningin. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng wala di pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang iligaya ng pagmay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Excellences, honorable guests, CTE Blazing Wolves, good morning. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our ever supportive Dean, Ma'am Jocelyn B. Bacasmot, and as well as our program heads, Sir Joey C. Oliveros, BSED Program Head, Ma'am Charmaine V. Banyas, BEd BSNAD BSED Program Head, Sir Junal J. L. Versano, BPE Program Head, and to all our faculty staff who are here with us today. I would like also to acknowledge the presence of the participants, 70 participants coming from different academic organizations. All right, so I believe everyone is very eager to hear our guest speaker this morning. But what if we start this with a roll call? Are you ready? I guess everyone is ready. So once the name of your organization is called, I am encouraging you to send any reaction that would represent your mood right now using our Zoom reactions button, or you can type it on the chat box. All right, so I guess everyone is ready. Tama ba? Okay, so let's start. Make some noise, Alliance of Special Needs and Early Childhood Education in University of Mindanao, ASNISUM. Asa ng mga ASNISUM? Ayun. Ayun, woohoo, ASNI. All right, so moving forward, can I hear you scream Association of Generalist Teachers, agent? Haba itong mga agent dire? Ayun. Okay. Break the Silence, Empowered Language and Literature Teachers Society, Elites. Ayun, ay mga elites. Okay, hindi naman magpapahuli ang mga ilustrado. Ayun, na ba yung mga ilustrado? Ayun, special mention. Chrysler J, tama ba pag-pronounce? Alright, so let's move forward. Mag-ingay, samahan na mag-aaral sa Filipino, Samafil. So wala'y pagdapig-dapig. Ayun, nagasend ng mga green hearts. Okay, get loud, Tikoys, University of Mindanao Teacher College Mathematics Society, UMT-CMS. Hello, wala yung mga UMT-CMS, wala yung mga tikoy. Okay. What about the University of Mindanao United Physical Educators, UMUFED? Yung mga BPE dire, BPE students. Okay, murag wala man. Ay, okay. Murag wala, Jod. Wala na, Jod, magpakahabol dira? Wala na? Okay, basin na nga tulog pa sila, no? Okay. And last but definitely not the least, Young Educators Association for Science and Technology. Yes! Mga pampatubo sa pan. Yes, ayun. May nag-send ng mga green hearts. Good morning from Biasa Jensay, Maria Elizabeth Barbadillo. All right, so in the name of the College of Teacher Education, College Student Government, it is our pleasure to welcome you to the second webinar session of EduKumustahan 2023, a joint program for mental health awareness and educational webinar series. Again, this is Strengthening Resilience, Strategies for Cognitive, Emotional, and Social Development. Moving right along, behind the excellence, there is a great and dynamic leader. And one of the alphas in the pack who's continuously leading the student body, We are pleased to have our very own Vice President of the College Student Government, no other than Mr. Edward Lawrence L. Lara for his opening remarks. A round of virtual applause, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Vice.
Okay. To our ever-dynamic College Dean, Dr. Jocelyn B. Bacasmot, to our distinguished program heads, DS-Ed Program Head, Prof. Joey C. Oliveros, DS-NED, BE-Ed, and BC-Ed Program Head, Prof. Charmaine V. Banyes, and our BPE Program Head, Prof. Junal J. R. Versano, to our resource speaker, Kathleen Keith J. Abakita, to our highly abled faculty and staff, to my to my colleague who made this event possible, and to the students of first year to fourth year of the College of Teacher Education, good morning. I am honored to welcome you all to this very important webinar entitled Strengthening Resilience, Strategies for Cognitive, Emotional, and Social Development. This is a part of an EduKumustahan webinar, a mental health and educational series. It aims to provide insightful discussion, practical techniques, and strategies that can be beneficial to our respective fields of endeavor. This conference is an opportunity for us to come together and build connection. So with all enthusiasm, I welcome you all to this conference. May this webinar leave us plenty of ideas, information, and vision to reflect upon. Although we are unable to convene this event physically, owing to the risk presented by the new variant of the pandemic, this has not deterred us from learning. Once again, welcome to this webinar. God bless us all. Mag-amping takanunay og padayon sa unahan.
Thank you for that thought-provoking message, Vice. And now, to start off with this exciting part of our webinar, let me call in our exceptional CTE-CSG President, Mr. Nilbert N. Runner, to introduce our guest speaker this morning.
All right, thank you, Secretary Teen. And without further ado, and on behalf of the College of Teacher Education, headed by our Dean, Dr. Jocelyn B. Bacasmot, and the program heads, namely Sir Joey Oliveros for BS Ed, Ma'am Charmaine Vanyes for BE Ed, BSc Ed, and BS NED, and Sir Junal J. Versano for BPE, our CTE faculty and staff, and to you, my fellow aspiring educators and my co-officers. It is my honor to introduce to you our guest speaker for this webinar 2 of the EduKumustahan 2023 entitled Strengthening Resilience, Strategies for Cognitive, Emotional, and Social Development. All right, our guest speaker is a registered guidance counselor and psychometrician. She completed her degree in psychology at Holy Cross College, Davao, while obtaining her Master's of Arts in Guidance Counseling and Master's in Psychology majoring in Clinical Psychology at San Pedro College. Currently, she serves as a college guidance counselor and peer consulting program moderator at the Ateneo de Davao University. In addition, she acts as a consultant and mental health care provider for Barangay Dakudao SK Council and a care provider at eSafe Talk. Apart from her counseling duties, she also conducts lectures and workshops on various topics related to mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear city excellent people, it is my honor to introduce to you our virtual, let us give her a virtual round of applause, no other than Ma'am Kathleen Kit J. Abakita.
Hello. Good morning, mga palangga. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear po.
Thank you so much. First, good morning. It is indeed a beautiful morning. I am very honored to join you in this very, very nice and timely webinar. How I wish it is, ano talaga, no, yung parang face-to-face, but with our limitations and restriction, but it doesn't limit us from learning in this topic. My courtesy also to the dean, to the program head, and to the faculty and staff under the College of Teacher Education. And syempre, ang ating mga kinakusga, no? Future LPTs. Hello, kaway-kaway naman dyan. Yes, I'm so glad that you are able to join even if medyo maaga talaga ang ating session. And I hope you are with us. You will be with us as we go through with our discussion this morning. May I have the honor to present my slides na ba? Okay na ba, dear? Ayan. Okay. Ayan. Are you seeing it right now ba? Okay na siya?
Yes po, ma'am.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. And also pala to the CSG headed by Mr. Runner. Thank you for inviting me here. And kung sino man ang nag-refer sa'yo, mamaya na ang referral fee. Anyways, so again, ito, we were going to talk about a very important word, which is at some point, gas-gas kayo siya, pero minti na nato siya ginagamit. But do we really know what is resilience? And ano yung mga pwede natin gawin in order to develop it further? So I hope you'll be excited. Nag-stalk ako, parang meron na kayong, previous na discussion with this. I hope whatever you have discussed on the first session is something na masupplement nito, or I hope it won't duplicate anything. Well, anyways, moving forward, I would just like to know what zone are you today? So kindly type in the heart that would represent your color. So green, heart, if you are feeling happy, excited, you're feeling calm, okay, and focused today. And a yellow heart naman, if you're feeling nervous, a bit worried, embarrassed at some point, confused, and even unsure of that feeling. Blue naman, blue heart, if you're feeling sad, you're feeling depressed, something like that, no? You are tired, you're uncomfortable today. And red heart, if you are upset, you're frustrated, furious, mad, and angry kay sayo kaayo ang webinar nila Sir Rainer, no, Runner. So, mo ni siya. So, can I have a reaction, everyone? Yeah. And also a reminder that this is a safe space for us. Know that we don't have that luxury to really talk like such things every day. And there is still the stigma that we are fighting against, talking about mental health and how we are. So may it be known to everyone that this is the rightful place to share, to talk, to discuss a very salient and important topic. So yan, I am seeing right now your different reactions. And I am just very grateful for the people who are very honest, very open, na nasa blue and red sila na point right now, yung feelings nila. May it be known that when we speak about emotions, mga palangga, it is varied. Hindi lang yan siya positive feelings. And this is something that we have to correct. You LPTs, ano na dyan nato, no? I-manifest and i-claim nato, no? Educators in the making. Our key for a better and a mentally healthy Philippines lies to educating each and every one of us. And it starts by educating that emotions are valid, such as this, that feelings of tiredness, frustrations, anger, no, irritations are very fine. And something to take note lang talaga, mga langga, is that comes with that awareness of our feelings is responsibility. Once that we are aware of our feelings, so dyan papasok ang question na, what to do with that feelings? Am I going to stay with that feelings? So for those on the red and blue na side of emotions, assess yourself right there. Ano ba ang pinanggagalingan ng emosyon na ito? What is or what are making me sad? What are the things that makes me frustrated today? And with that awareness again comes then action. And that is just one of the many things that we can do in order to improve resilience. And later on, we're going to talk more about that. Okay? Na pa ba? Okay pa ba mo? Sugod pa lang ta. Okay. As we proceed, yan. Thank you again for being honest with your emotions. So, eto, just a checker, no, of measure natin of where are we going today is to understand the importance of resilience. Then, also, eto, to explore the various factors that can affect one's resiliency. Then identify the different strategies to improve resilience for better holistic growth. Actually, we will go further from the cognitive, from the social, and from the emotional, which is the initial title of this, because we are going towards holistic growth talaga. Because hindi lang itong tatlo ang napaka-importanting development na ating dapat tutukan. There are actually more. Diba? Challenging. Oh. And also, these things that we're going to relearn eventually this morning will just be put into waste if it will just stay as a learning and we will not put into action. So later on, hopefully, you would have the time to create your plan for wellness. Then, ito. Gitiko na to ang mga brain cells darabi. What can you say about the picture? Dili kailangan mga pang Mr. and Miss Universe ang tubag ha. Sige. Yes. This just talk about two important words. Adversity and resilience. Oh, wait lang. Parang nawala ang aking, yung parang reaction nyo there. Hello, mo na dyan sila. Pila na ba edad ani ni ma'am? Nantigo lang kasi ma'am. Di naman siya kakuan sa technology. Wait lang ha, nawala yung reactions nyo. I mean, yung chats nyo. Yun. Yun, balikan ko. Yan. Ito. Adversity and resilience. So any word that you can relate to adversity? Sige. Ano yung a word or a phrase that can better describe adversity or your take on what is adversity? Sige daw. Struggles. Yan. In the picture or in this scene, ano yung adversity dito at ano yung resilience dito na part? Yes, that drought. Ang pagkauga. Ang pagkauga sa yuta. Dera, oo. Natawahan nila, oy. Oo, yes. The challenge. And the resilience here is depicted by kinsa, unsa. The growth of, yes, the sunflower. And hopefully, that is something that you learn at the end of the session, that despite the drought No? Ang kauga nga atong na-experience sa atong kinabuhi. Magpadayon kita nga mulambo sama ani nga sunflower. And when we talk about adversity, there are so many, no? Yeah. What do you think are the aspects of life wherein we experience different challenges, struggles, tragedy? Oh, sige daw, B. Ano yun? Ano ng mga areas ng ating buhay? Work, unpleasant situation, yes. School, Byron nun, ikapslak pa daw na dear, Byron nun, kaya murag daghang makarelate. Exam, yeah. And, ikapslak, maayog yun. Yeah, and syempre a lot more, no? Sige, just keep it coming. First is the physical adversity, especially with this time, with this generation, where everything that is considered beautiful is those socially acceptable standards of beauty. Kung hamist ka, guwapa ka, di ba? Kung dili dag imong pores, wala kay mga pimples, kung dili ka gasol og lawas kanang mga kanang Coca-Cola body, kanang mga our standards and ideas of beautiful becomes then physical adversities for some, if not you. And wherein the concept of body shaming comes in. So with that experience of physical adversity, meron siyang effect to one's resiliency also, because it can lower down one's self-esteem. Tapos, kani pa naman yung mga Filipino, no? What is the usual na pambungad nato pag natay kaila? Sige daw, be? Pag natay kaila, mamit nato after pila ka months, pila ka years, unsay iingon, unsay pambungad? Sige daw, be? Lagi. Instead na kamusta, maayon ta ng kamusta, pero naadjud usahay mo simang na nanambok lagi ka, nipayat lagi ka, asa man siya kumulugar? Unsa man siya di ay dapat, no? And with that, it may have an impact to a person, especially if that person, ay okay kay na for the glow up, kay murag lami-lami sa gibati, pero ay ka na, sige ha, dapat na next time, no? Minigaw pa lagi ka, pero ito ba kung manito, lang si Dido ko lagi yung oping. Dapat dili na, no? Because, there are people actually that they are experiencing physical adversity. They are trying and keeping up, no, with their body weight, their body outlook. And merong iba talaga na, loy, suko naman kayo ni siya. Uy, yan na dyan gi-caps lock. Lain pud lagi niya. Ang sama na langga. Murag na atay hugot dara. Murag padulong pa sa one-on-one counseling session, ani ba? Anyways, sige nun, yan nakamata na gid mo. Mao lagi ni ba? Ganahan kayo mo basta mga inani. Sige, going back. There are people na, example is they're like taking up medication. It could be that ang side effects ani is medyo mag-gain jud ka og weight. And just imagine that person who is trying to process that may sakit siya, she is now taking medication, and here comes you, no? Kanang murag, yeah. So, another thing to consider is to be mindful of the words that we use, to be more sensitive. And going back to you, mga kinakusgan na mga educators, this is something that you have to take note, that words are even sharper than knives. Remember that. You can make or break a person through the words that we use. So, yan din. And meron din my experiences of mga mental disorder already, like the anorexia and the bulimia. So, with that, expected na meron talaga silang difficulty in terms of their actually it's not physical, but it's their mental processes. So, you know, that's physical adversity. Meron din tayong yon, the mental adversities. Example, you're experiencing depression. So, yun na yun, mga minsan signs is losing or gaining weight. Yeah. Ito din, the emotional adversity. So, there are a lot. The social adversities, like, especially with the come of pandemic, marami talagang nahirapan, lalo na nag-shift na naman tayo na pwede na naman na mag-F2F. I have even counseling na naapa lang siya sa gawa sa ilahang balay, nagpangurog na siya because of the idea that she will go out. Commuting is very challenging for her. How much more going inside the campus? So those are the things that one might experience. And ito din, we have the spiritual adversities, difficulty or challenge in the faith-based, no? And yan, kaganina, kinsa to dear, sorry lang ha, di na ko ma-remember yung pangalan. Yan, itong recaps lang yan. Si Mr. Babaw, Byron nun, caps lang. Yeah. Given that, bago lang no, katapusan, kagahapon, so kamusta ang ato ang mga kuandera, no? Si Judith, nakita na ba ninyo? Kana nato ang mga kailangan i-consider, no? Mga sa school, sa house, and especially as you, nabay mga graduating rin, no? Another thing, when you are towards the adulting 101 na gyud na magtrabaho na gyud ka, or even sa inyo hadarino is working. So in terms of budgeting, things like that. And with all these things coming together, different adversities that we are experiencing, at some point our resiliency level goes down, no? Or even shattered into pieces. Well, what is adversity then? I mean, resilience. So, yan. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties or toughness. Yeah. As we have come to this world, we have the innate capability of recovering from different stressful situations. However, yun nga, with our human experiences on a day-to-day basis, this resiliency, especially when not being established well, all the more, kung dili, just imagine, taas kayo na tower, no, or building, without a strong foundation. Hanginon lang na, diba? Mag-crack-crack na. Oh. Karelate ang mga buildings diri sa Davao, no? Oh. Labi na magsiglinog-linog. Same with us. These adversities are the earthquakes of our lives that us, as towers, if our foundation, our base, is built in such smooth and kanang shaken ground, given that mas dali gyud ta mauyog. And speaking with the foundation of resilience, we have to understand that iba-iba tayo ng level. This problem may be easy for me but difficult to others. Same with naay ubang butang na sayon sa inyo ha, nga lisod sa ako ah. Let us go back to the basic that we came from different backgrounds. Ang mamagpapa ni Sir Nilbert, kay di nako mamagpapa, or else mag-igsuon mi. Char. Pero miskig mag-igsuon mi, lahi-lahi pod gihapon mig level of resilience because it then matters on how we perceive things. Even twins, dili nato kasigurado nakapareha sila take sa mga butang-butang. How much more us, given that we came from different backgrounds. Lahi-lahi ang parenting style na na-experience. Lahi ang experiences of the social experience once we go out of our houses, when we go to school, be with our classmates, how will we interact. And with that, it probably creates higher esteem or lower esteem. And that talks more of our resilience. And with that, together with this type of adversities, are areas of wellness. And our areas of wellness don't focus only on social, emotional, and mental. Because we also have the social, the spiritual, financial, and even the vocational. Ito, vocational, balikan ko na ito. Hindi ko pala nakita ito kanina. Vocational adversity talks about your career path, your career goals, your career plans. So, naanang this part wherein you are in college could be your vocational adversity. I don't like my course, ma'am. Ambot lang. Anak mo good sila kay mo daw ni pinakabarato. So, diri na lang jud ko. Inana. Or ingon man gud ako magpapa kay inani pero di ko gusto. It could be that is your vocational adversity. Or when you finish is that dili ko sure, ma'am, kung naaba ko'y padulungan makapasa ba ko exam, kung maayo ba ko na teacher, effective ba ko, kay feeling na ko karon kay dili jud. So, things like that. And that is something that we would like to look more closely. And with that, as we move along, when these adversities will be piled up talaga, actually it would start with stresses. Every day we experience stress. Sige, pangutanan ako. If you would like to have a stress-free life, asa na ninyo makuha? Sige daw, B. Stress-free life. Where can we actually get a stress-free life? Sige. Contentment, inner peace, stability. Yeah. It could be. Yeah. Yeah, when you reach that. But it is a continuum. It is a process. Therefore, also with adaptation process siya. Dili siya like instant, no? A stress-free life could actually be experienced. Tama sa dagat. Tama dira ang D. No, ang D. Because stress-free life can be experienced in death. Why? This is the reality. As long as we live, there would always be things that will go outside of our control, outside of our expectations. And with that fact, mas stress gyud ta. Kay wala man ni dapig sa tua perminti, no? Our plans, our controls, no? And human beings gets the strength when we are in control of things. But when we are not, we then become frustrated, irritated, no? We then become stressed. Therefore, every day we experience stress. However, it is within our control. Yon. Control in the sense that we can make something. We can, our coping mechanisms are still effective. Just like what? Preparing for an exam. Stressful siya. But when it is over, nahuman na nimo. Okay? So that is just a short-lived na, kumbaga, stress. Magbulag sa inyong mga uyab, ang mga judno, di stressful kayo, mga palangganidaan. Magbulag sa uyab. Stressful. Ang uyab or ang panagbulag? Both, ma'am. Sige, dito ta mag-focus sa panagbulag. Okay, stressful siya. So it is short-lived when this experience is somehow relieving to you, nga you are done with that, in a way, butang natong toxic relationship, or it is somehow difficult to you because you have lost, syempre, a part of you. And this is what I always say when I deal with counselings with relationship. It's very fine that you experience levels of emotions because mura pug kag namatayan pag nagibulagan ka or nakigulag ka. Because you have to remember, you have invested time, effort, and a lot of emotions. And when you're into relationship, you give part of that self. And when that person goes out of your life, syempre, sakit, bugat ang gibati. Og sama sa picture ka ganina, mahimong uga ang atong paminaw because somebody have left to us. So, ina na nga feels, di ba? It is a short-lived stress if you're able to cope. However, it becomes an extreme stress when this feelings levels up into anxiety. And then it goes beyond even to mental health concerns such as depression. Sige. We have been talking about anxiety. Another word that is something na may interchange, which is they are interchangeable, but it matters on the degree lang kasi and level, is fear. So, how is fear being differentiated with anxiety? Sige daw. Usay word na makuan ninyo, ma-describe ninyo sa fear. And unsa po word na ma-describe ninyo sa anxiety? Any word or a phrase that you could actually describe fear and anxiety? Sige daw. Starting with fear. Unsa ang fear para sa inyo, ha? Fear. Any word that you can associate? Fear kay short term, anxiety kay long term. Thank you. Sige. Any idea? Any more? Wants to add? Kay perminti man nato ni siya ginagamit. Tapos dili data kabalo, unsa niya siya? Fear, threaten, anxiety, worried. Sko kalangga, kuan lagi kayo, kapsla kayo. Sige. Dread. Isa pa. Okay, we keep on using the word fear and anxiety. Now let's unlock it. Fear is pain. Pressured and stressed. Okay. So if that's it, then what is anxiety? Fear, more of like hesitation to do something and seek approval. Yes, Adrian, anxiety is overthinking. Okay? Sige. Let's put it this way. You wake up one morning. Pag mata nimo, naas sa imong tiilan kay bitin. And let's put it na bitin because most of us has fears of snake. So that is fear. Yung reaction towards that is fear. You wake up the next day and the next days, wala na'y bitin, but you still feel that certain level of emotions. Then that becomes anxiety. Fear, there is a real danger. While anxiety is just an imagined danger. Fear and anxiety is very normal to be felt because as human, we are autopilot to battle up, to keep up with any danger. Basic instinct nato is to protect ourselves with that danger. That is why fear comes in when there is an exact, again ha, real ang danger. Like naagyod siya sa imuha. Another example. Musulod kag klase, na mong professor, gipa-oral ka, okay, that is fear. The next day, wala pa siya, pero naghuna-huna na ka na, hala, mabot na to siya, nakulbaan na ka, nagtaas na ang imong emotions. That becomes then anxiety. Gets ba nato? Yeah. But with the fear and anxiety, they at some point share mga commonalities in terms of our feelings, in terms of the physical responses, kanang makulbaan ta, mamugnaw ta, kanang daghag murag gagitik-gitik sa imong tiyan no, murag kalibangon ka nga unsa ba nga makakabalo sa imong gibati. Oo. So they can share things like that. And in terms of the psychological symptoms, that is where overthinking then comes in, the worrying, yun siya. And in terms of behavioral examples of fear and anxiety, that they share the commonalities, and when someone withdraws, instead of like engaging, socializing, di na siya kaayo ganahan na mo uban sa mga tao, or kana bang mag-lessen ng iyang performance. Because, for example, kana oral recitation, you know the answer, you know what to say, but you are feeling anxious. Or being anxious in the sense na kung musturya ka, kay basin mali ka. Or kana. Ang fear po ni mo, musturya ka karon dira, basin mapaulawan ka or i-call out ka sa teacher. So things like that. So again, fear and anxiety, they differ in that area because fear, real, ang iyang danger. Ang anxiety is imagined. However, they share most of the experiences or the responses in terms of the physiological, behavioral, and emotional na experience with that. And when these things, the anxiety becomes uncontrollable already and becomes or impedes your day-to-day activity, it could eventually lead to disorder. So we have generalized anxiety disorders, no? And another specific anxieties like specific phobias. So dyan na siya papasok. Then it might and could level up to certain levels of depression. And ano pang other contributory factors why one becomes like this, malunod sa iyang different adversities. Like yan, eto, lagom taba, pangit ka. The constant negative self-talk and negative concept about oneself. Pwede, all the more, mas mauning mga nagabira sa imuha pa ilalom. Wala kay pulos. Bobo. Mga utang, mga doubts nimo, deadlines, bills, kana, diba? The idea and the anxiety of what's gonna happen in the future. And again, anxiety na siya, no? Anything in the future is really uncertain. No one knows what's gonna happen in the future. And if a person is very anxious, and sad to say, that person will miss living the present. And a person who misses living the present won't value the people around her or him, the blessings na nasa iyang atubangan, kaya di man niya makita. Wala man siya sa present. Naaman siya perminti, nag-live sa iyang worries, sa iyang anxieties, sa iyang future. So hopefully, and something also to remind you that in our day-to-day challenges, di man gid maiwasan na maka-feel tag anxiety. And it doesn't mean that we are not resilient already. However, let us try and really help ourselves to pull that self to be back in the present. Okay? Present, present, your present. So, eto, that I am a failure and no one understands me and other things pag you know, mga negative things that eventually will draw and pull us even more pag yun. To the point na malumos kita sa ato ang sarili. And sadly, worst thing that would happen is that one could have the suicide ideations. Suicide ideations are the frequent thoughts of hurting oneself. And in terms of suicide, statistics would show that suicide attempts are higher than female. However, suicides incidents talaga happens higher in male. What do you think are the reasons why mas taas ang confirmed jud na suicides among male? And sa female kay naaman pero mas taas ang attempts lang. Dili gyud ka nang i-end gyud nila ilahang life. Sige daw. Any thoughts about this? Yes, Mr. President, stigma. What about the stigma about surrounding male? Ba? Yeah. Thank you, Alan. No? Yeah. So, unsa ba ni mas marites ang mga babae? Ay, dili day. Wala, tama ba to? Yeah. In terms of emotions, yes, very true. Females are more expressive, so they have the chance to express this to the sa ila pong mga friends. And since you are an educator, no, I would really like to emphasize this also. And to wherever talks I say, regardless of nabay parents gyud dira or kung naaman parents diri, no, a reminder, and sa mga future parents. Actually, it starts at home. It starts with our society, our community, which is a sad thing. Because we have what we call this toxic masculinity. When guys are seen crying, nganong ginaingnan dayon ni siya na act of weakness? What sets apart from male and female? The eye. Aside from your genitals, our genitals, no? Naaday nakaingon na pag babae alang pwede lang mahilag, pag lalaki kay di na. And it starts at the early age. Just imagine a household, bata nga gahilak. Ayaw hilak-hilak dira. Tapos, unsa ang ano-ana, is connected dayon to being part of the LGBTQ, di ba? Ay, hilak-hilak dira. Sa man ay binayot. Di ba? Mga inana na comments, at some point, yes, the social construct, at some point is really debilitating, no? And take note, it could be carry over towards adulthood. Our experiences in the childhood is very important. Meron ba dito mga childhood, from the childhood education, di ba? So, you are actually playing a very crucial and vital role, mga palangga. Abi ninyog sayon ra kay, childhood man ma'am, kanang bata raman na, lingaw-lingaw raman mi. Remember your childhood. If your childhood is traumatic, how are you as an adult right now? And sadly, our experiences of childhood, dili tanan, are given the chance to process it. And once it is not processed, one can carry it over towards adulthood and even towards old age. Sumamatay ta nga daghang ginadala-dala sa atong pagbati. If our childhood experience is that traumatic. So going back to that societal construct has been mentioned by Diana, and the toxic masculinity surrounding men about crying, or the idea of us, not just only right now, Gani. Kasi I have encounters of parents and clients talaga na ginaingnan ko nila na kaya naas sila experience sa balay na her parents are both in the law. So puro mga abogado ba. And silang household dili pwede kakitaan og paghilak. Sa CR siya gahilak sabay sa iyahang pagligo because kasab-an sila kung makitaan silang magluya-luya. And how does it affect her? And even to you, baka meron din ditong have the same experience. And even you can ask yourself, if dili ka kabalo unsaon ang imong emotions, or you don't know how to name your feelings because of just repressing it, kabantay mo anang magkalit lang mag-breakdown, maghilak mo, unya, mga anak ka, sige naghilak, wala makakabalog yun, unsay mong gilakan. Once man ako ang gibati, di po nimo ma-recognize. It's because going back, it is already a piled of repressed emotions. So nagtapok na siya, so di nakakabalo unsaon siya pag-sort. Unsa na to? You don't know kung na-frustrate ba ka, nasuko, nagselos, or unsa ba ni. And once you don't know, syempre, unsaon nimo pag-help sa imong self? Lain sa, diba? Just like you, nakay sakit sa ginabati. Tapos mo inom kag tanang tambal para ma-cure ka. So syempre, lahi po ang effect. Better if you know that your head is aching, therefore, you will take in pain reliever. So better, direct. So that is something that we have to take note. That is why earlier, we have at least an activity wherein you can assess yourself. Kamusta akong emotions? Asa ba ko karon na level? So that's an activity that you could actually do in helping yourself trying to figure out your emotions, and then action comes then next. As we move along, these are actually the myths and truths about resilience. So, ito usually, many think that resilience can only come from a negative experience, that resilient people never feel down or hopeless, and that people can have experienced too many negative things to build resilience. And this thinking actually encapsulates what we call the toxic positivity. Because true resilience is this one. Because we are humans, we are bound to experience different emotions. Every day is not an offering of a bed of roses. Kung naay inana nga pagtuo, kung gipatuo mo sa inyong ginikanan ang kinabuhi kay inani gyud kagwapo lang no og kalami, sorry na lang jud, because it's not. There are a lot of bumps, twists, and turns that you would meet along the way. And if you are a parent right now, future parents, educators, please, let's stick to facts. Let us not romanticize life. Positive side, yes, that life is beautiful when you are able to experience it. And experiencing it means experiencing the failures, the difficulty, the challenges that life may throw us. Are you getting my point right now? Kasi all the more that we romanticize life like this na, inani jud ka gwapo, you will be protected, dili ka masakitan. When that person experience it, that is where adversity comes into the point na dili siya makabounce back. Kasi it is something that was not being preconditioned. It is something that was not established. It is something that was not being trained and exercised. So again, if you're feeling down, if you're experiencing negative emotions, it's very all right. Again, what comes next with awareness is responsibility. You are responsible then with your emotions. And then resiliency can develop into our different experiences. Yan lang siya. Basta at the end of the day, kasi resiliency for me is a continuum. When you're resilient today, it doesn't mean you are resilient for the rest of your life. It is a continuum, therefore, it is a process, therefore, it will always be a challenge to keep it up every day. And that is why dyan papasok ang ating mga different wellness activities, different wellness or self-care or coping mechanisms na mga ginagawa. Then, as we move along, okay pa ba mo? Napaba mo dara, no? Yeah. And ito, very important, something to take note as educators. Kabantay mo sa generation karon and sa mga coming generation. They become so susceptible to adversities. Mas dali maluya, dali mahuyang, dali mo give up sa mga butang-butang. How ironic it is that they are actually living an easier life compared to the life that was experienced before. Where everything comes to instant, right? Just as like now. Diba pag namoy assignment or unsa pa man dara, instead of going to the library na, yes, we go to the library, pero easy na lang kayo sa tuwa with our technology, makita na nimo ang book. And for us, gani, usahay, di na tamatog library because Google is our best friend. Yes, ganun no. But before, there's no computer. They only have typewriter. Kaabot pa ba mo, ana? Wala na. Yeah. Then, they have to really look for that material. Ano pag yun na sila, in search pag yun na sila, no? Of different resources. Have you questioned that right now? Like the irony of the instant, pero at the same time, nganong slow and medyo stagnant ang process. It's because of the idea na instant ang kalibutan. Does it mean also that success is instant? Di ba dili? But it was somehow built in this minds that it should also be instant also. Na dapat, ma'am, di na ako maghago. Papasaron ako ninyo. Dili na daghag mga quizzes or oral. Dapat inani na. Dapat di na ako makaagi og kalisod. That is why we are experiencing students having a lot of complaints, rants, diba? And that is a challenge then to you, educators. You will become then faculties, no, and teachers. Yes. Thank you for that, Christian. And it talks so much also about of the parenting style. Yeah. Are you familiar of what we call helicopter parenting? Familiar kayo? Helicopter parenting? Or airplane parenting or hinibalaan? Sige, any idea daw of what is helicopter parenting? Kaya basin ka mo diri ha, kay a product of helicopter parenting also. Nag-google sila. Gi-google nila. Bitaw, any word that you can or meron ba kayong idea? Sige. Sige lang, ato lang nang i-google niyo kayo, wala ba ako idea? Sige daw be, helicopter parenting, what do you think? Sige. So according, ito muna. According to Peter Gray, with his studies on declining student resilience, we have raised a generation of young people who have not been given the opportunity to learn how to solve their own problems, to get into trouble and find their own way out, to experience failure and realize they can survive it, to learn how to respond to challenges without even adult intervention. Because it was handed like everything to them. Tanan, spoon feed. Halos tanan. And with that, we are then facing its effect right now. Young people going to college or to school still unable, no? And unwilling to take responsibility for themselves. Still feeling that if a problem arises, they need an adult to solve it. Have you seen that? Yes, naada yung mag-rescue, no? Naada in Ana. Yes, thank you so much. Mga bright na lang jud ani nila. Uy, sige. And with that, it gets that children the chance to experience, to establish his or her resiliency. Diba? It was, I cannot remember exactly, but it was, I think, last year. There were series of road rages na ang involved are minors and napuiban na dili minor na hamtong na good, adult na good, but it's the parents na mo'y makikatubang, mo'y mustorya. I don't remember exactly the case, but that is an example of helicopter parenting. And yes, tama itong mga sinasabi niyo dito. And another thing, no? With that being said, faculty are then expected to do more handholding, lower academic standards, and not challenge students so much. So, di mo ma-challenge. Kasi if you are that teacher or educator that kanang mo go lang, ay sige, helicopter parenting na po ba? Mahimo ng helicopter institution na para makapasa na lang ni sila, uy, para okay na lang ni sila. So, i-lower na nato ang standards and therefore, ang quality of education will be sacrificed. No? And probably we just have to strike the balance on this one. And again, papasok na naman dyan ang being an educator. Education is the key to almost everything. Letting the parents understand on their end what is or what are they doing, and on the other side, the children. Kay, just imagine, a person who is experiencing helicopter parenting, na kay gusto, example, si Miss Dana, no? Manguyab ko kay Miss Dana. Unya kay, kuan man ko sa, kanang helicopter parenting. Unya, si Miss Dana, kay lo, medyo choosy mo din siya. Di ko niya sugton. Yung gilak-hilak dahil ko niya, lain sa akong parent ang manguyab para sa kung ano. Diba? So sila na lang tinag-uyab. Lain pud kayo. Oh. So basically, no, we're just trying to get it straight ba that we have different experiences. Parents will be there, you will be there, guiding. Guide. Pero dili ikaw ang mulive sa ilahang life. No? Something that we have to understand. And this is helicopter parenting, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So, ang punto ani is, this generation of parents, Manggod, have experienced difficulties. So, with their experiences, they have the idea na, dili ko gusto ma-experience ni sa akong anak. Very nice. Naman dira, sakto man na siya. But, it crosses the line kung in-ani na pod. Overprotective na lang ka nga. Gamay lang na pagkadagma, wala na. Diba? You allow that the child na maka-experience, ana. Oo. Mapasakitan siya. Nato, diba? Makasabaan sa maestra. Asa to, I am not in the right position to say anything because wala kasi ako sa scene. Wala ako sa actual. evidences coming from the parents, the screenshots and all are just part of the whole. Remember that, diba? We have to get both sides, no? And in actuality, dapat silang duha gyud na adinto para kabalo gyud ta sa tama. But that is an example. So what's your take on that? So asa mo lugar ang pagka-teacher nato dera no? So sahay mo na kahadlukan sa uban na maging maestro, especially on this generation. So asa naman lang kung mura naman noon kung mahimong yayaan ni. No. Kanang kung ina na nga pagkastorya ba kay magsunod-sunuran naman lang ka sa unsay gusto sa imong estudyante. Tama ba na? Ina na ba na? So another discipline that you are teaching, diba, is to provide authority when you are in class. You provide rules. And to provide more so is discipline. So paunsa na kung napog kay helicopter parent. So very challenging siya, no? So I am putting this on the table for you to think of it, to situate yourself. Bitaw no, kung ako na, unsa kaya akong pwede na maging strategies, like going beyond to what you have learned in the basics, in the theories, in the concepts of teaching. Go back to the concept of humanity also. Paunsa na nimo siya matahi. So di ba? Abi lang jud nilag sayon mamaestra pero dili di ay dele. So dele na lang mi mama char. Dili oy padayon jud oy. Ano ba? So those are the things no that you have to think of it kay basin kamo pod helicopter parents. Putting excessive pressure on children. Like right now, I can see, especially in the child, kanang elementary education ba? Ang mga bata, actually, just like enjoying, just give me the, the time, basing nagsubor tabi, ano ba kay ko? Oo. Having the time ba nga, mag-enjoy, to experience more life, but instead, grade 1 na grade 1, ang gusto sa mama, mag-top 1 ka. Diba? Kanang, dapat ikaw pinaka-bright ha. Munang si mama, siya nalang mo answer. Diba? So si mama nanta ni eskwela para siya po'y matauran o medalya. Diba? So that's the thing right now. It's not about children thing. It's more of the parent thing. No? And the parenting. So something to think about. And again, what is not being resolved, what is being experienced in the childhood can be carried over to adulthood. So, ano dyan siya? Very crucial yun siya. Then, micromanaging. Siya na lang galihok. Mura na lang dyan robot ang bata. Like, following. And I do have even a client na college na siya, graduating na yun siya. Pero pati iyang suoton, itawag pa niya sa iyang mama. Yeah. And you cannot blame that child. Because another term for helicopter parenting is shadow parenting. Kanang naa siya dara perminti. Di ba yung shadow? Halos di man biya sa imo ha. Naraman dyan siya dara same with that parent. Then, intense desire to provide a different childhood. As mentioned, yun nga, if I have that not so nice childhood experience, kanang, i-heal na ko akong inner child through my child, dili. So, dele lang ha, dele dyan siya, ana. Okay, so, something to think about. And with that, we have to understand that failure is a part of life. Same with stresses, kasi they have the common denominator that there are things that is out of your control. Like passing the board exam. If you studied well, if you do your thing, after nimo mapasa na, wala na jud kay control. Kung sa may mga panghitabuan sa sulod, checking, kung sa pa ba na other faulties there's a system, if you will fail or pass, that is something na dito na. So something to let go na siya. And in life, just like relationship, you've been with your partners for 5 or more years, but there are even relationships that fail. And with those human experiences, makita na to failures. But if we will try to dig deeper, this picture is really so meaningful. Because if you take out failure and see it more closely, it's not actually failure. It's somehow at some point, it's a success. No? Kanang mga experiences nato na kayong tanganong na-experience man ni nako, gihilakan nato. But at the end of the day, when we come into realization, at times, we are grateful for that experience. Na napasakitan ta, na na-down ta, na inan yung ato ang gibati. Because in failure, this one. It's the first step to actually learning more. However, if you're that person na ginaiwasan nimo ang failure, that is a different mindset. This is according to Dr. Carol Dweck, who studied this fixed and growth mindset. So try to check yourself right now. What are the things that you are believing in? So if you have the fixed mindset, o sa karon kay pa bright na din tanong, pag mo na din sila na mindset lang na ba, mindset then mo na din ka. So unsa na kind of mindset? Is it a fixed or growth mindset? So karon pili mo. Fixed mindset are ito. If you avoid failure, if you just desire to look smart and therefore you don't like to listen to others, you just avoid challenges, you stick to what you just only know. This person are close-minded. Naba may kailaan na bright kayo pero dili siya open na makadungog sa perspective sa uban. That person can or might have a fixed mindset. And a person who's having fixed mindset are those person actually who will have difficulty in growing, difficulty in learning. Bakit? Fix man ang kanyang mindset. What she or he believes in is something that she thinks is right. Therefore, nga naman naman ko nimo, ako may tama. Ako naman ang may kahibalo. So, kinsa dere, so hopefully, dili ikaw na. Then, wait lang. So, you stick to what you know. Feedback and criticism is personal. You don't change or willing to improve. So you have that kind of mindset. And if you are or we are, i-manifest yun nato, no, that we are for growth mindset. We are for continuous learning. That we're open to confront difficulties, challenges, uncertainties in our lives. Okay? That we are not afraid to fail, that we can take some risk. And we are willing to listen to feedbacks and criticisms for us to even be the best versions of ourselves. So ngayon, pili kayo ng mabuti. Are you for fixed or growth mindset? Yan. And balikan natin yung failure. A person sees failure as something na kababaan ng pagkatao. That you are an automatic loser when you fail. That when you experience failure, wala na kay say sa kalibutan, kumbaga inana na thinking. I'm sorry, nagyaw-yaw ako. Wait lang ha. Battery low na ako. Yun. But if you're having that growth mindset, your definition of failure is different from the usual. Your definition of failure can be, which is my definition, is a blessing in disguise. For me, failures are blessings in disguise. For me, failures are just delays, but it doesn't mean na I will not or you will not able to have. No? And failure is equivalent to learning, is equivalent to growing. And as such, we have these people who are, yan, sige daw, Vic, kay basid katulgo na gid mo dara ba? Okay pa ba ang all? So guess who? Sige daw ha. Ano naman siya? Okay. After being cut from his high school basketball team, this famous failure went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. Kinsa na siya? He missed 9,000 shots in his career, lost 300 games 26 times, no? Been trusted to take game-winning shot and missed. So just imagine, no? Anong, ikaw na gyud ang magpadaog sa team, tapos bang, the frustration, no? No? And failed over and over again in his lifetime. So kinsa siya? Kay kung wa mo kaila, bisitahon mo niya o niya. Halam mo diha. Kinsa ni siya? Kinsa MJ? Michael Jackson? Ay, kinsa man na? Sa dear. Guess who? Sige daw, B. Dahil dyan, yes, si Michael Jordan. Yeah. Oh, basta kay basketball player siya, mo na siya. Sige, kani siya. Before she wrote this book series, she was nearly penniless. O kung sa tuap pa kayo, wag yun tayo misig kung ano, misig sinsilyo, you know. Divorced, severely depressed, and trying to raise a child on her own. No, diba? While attending school and writing a novel, the first 9 publishers rejected her book before a small businessman accepted her. Just imagine, no? Pwede naman kaisa, nga nang maabot yun og kanay, kakapoy ba? So kanang inana good na feeling. But, yes, wala dyan niya giundangan. Ay, how'd siya dara na side? How'd ka, Sir Nilbert? Dahil dyan, yes, naka-free ride. Yes, si J.K. Rowling. Yan, kani. Was once fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. So, kinsa na siya? Kinsa siya? Kinsa siya? Hindi siya magpakita. Ayun, kinsa na siya? Na very grateful tano kaya nga ato ang kuan childhood yun no isa siya sa nagpalipay sa ato because of his creation. O basta kato siya. Oo gyud na siya. Mamangod ko pa Gcash ko inabo ko pa Gcash how kay mo mga answer. Sir Nilbert sayang wa ko nakaingon si mo naon day pa game si ma'am. Yes, Walt Disney. Copy paste na lang gud nit sila uy. Char lang. Okay, eto siya. She was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Ay, grabe siya, oh. So, pinsa na siya. Oo. Oh, wala pa, wala. Pinakog na may answer. Okay. Yes! Galing-galing naman ang mga person na ito. Yes, si Oprah. And right now, di ba? Award-winning actress has been like recognized by different awarding bodies for like the performer that she is. So see the experiences of these people, no? How they experience mga things that kanang naka-down good sa ilaha. And this one, Ito pa. Her mother was told by a few that her child will have no future because she was born out of wedlock, that she will not succeed, that eventually, das ina naman sa tong community, di ba? Especially before, na pag mabuntesan, tapos walay pa na kanang, like kanang, pakaslan ba? Na, the idea ba na, kanang, ang pagtanaw sa society ba nga, dili na nimo ma-raise imong child, so, dili na ni mo mahimo or mapaskwela, something like that ba. So, and with that, that mother eventually is being an example of how she was able to counter different adversities and how she's so resilient because she has the option, no? Kasi uso before, no? Kanang magpalaglag-laglag. But according to the mother, ang iyang gidong naingon, unsaon na lang daw ug nahimo pang beauty queen iyang anak. And that child is actually me, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. So, my mother was being kanang ginaingnan akong mama ug inana ba. But right now I'm good ha. I'm living actually with my father. But this is just an example ba of how if ang akong mama pa is not resilient enough, oh my gosh, di siya kita gwapa nga anak. Sao na lang yun tawon, no? So, ana ba? And for this, anyways, for this, group, if we have here single parents here, my mom is an example, good. So, do not be like so down with the difficulties or challenges that you're experiencing right now. So, you'll never know what's going to happen in the future. Anyways, moving forward. In order to help ourselves, no, to strengthen our resilience, we have to look into different areas of our lives for wellness, no, for total well-being. So we could start with our emotions, our emotional wellness. So maintaining a healthy emotional life is important to overall health. Some ways to stay emotionally healthy are to manage your stress level, stay on top of schoolwork. So that means looking into study habits, your time management, how are you scheduling your life? Kana siya getting 8 hours of sleep, no? And ask for help or see a therapist or your counseling center because I know, ingnon to jud mo ni inyong headra is, I think si Sir Silvino Cosol, di ba, sa college, ano yan, guidance center ba ang term sa inyo? Sorry, nakakalimot ko, but yes, yan. To seek really help if, tawag niyan, if you are really having difficulty or trouble within your lives right now. Then intellectual means staying curious and engaged in learning new things, engage in creative activities, read for pleasure, no? Pero kani pud nabasa is kanang dili pud related imong gibasa pud kay ang imuhang subject. So instead na ma-release ang imuhang stress level or maka-focus anxiety nimo or sa imuhang fear. So syempre kay kanang imong gihimo sa kanang adlaw, so dili pud try to read a different material naman, no? Mga novels or something that you like. Basa mo pocketbook. Wow! Uso ba pocketbook karon? Ano ba na? So, ano ba siya? Be aware of social and political issues. So, just something that can steer your thoughts. Or join clubs and organizations, just like you being here, no? Because it can be mentally stimulating, especially if you are with intellectuals also. And di ba, mentally stimulating kaya mga bright lang na diri, di ba? Kanang ano ba, is something that would engage you as well. And eto, physical wellness involves moving your bodies and somehow relieving your tension. So, dapat ma-release ang tension. Kung sa inyong ginahimo para magpagawas og singot. Sige ha, singot. Gibati ninyo, no? Og kakapoy. Unsa inyong ways. So, exercise, gazumba, unsa pa man din na. Eating well-balanced meal also is key. Managing stress, sleeping, yan siya. Another is social wellness. Involves having strong social network. So by looking at your support system, your support group. Oo. So, pangita, balik na punta dito kaganina regarding sa scheduling wherein you can insert your free time being with friends, just doing your time with them. So yan siya. Is something that can help you. Katong ingon ninyo dito kaganina nga padagat, nagpadagat na ba ang tanan katuwang koan, long weekend, or nagpakasilyas lang. Kay walay travel no, kay traffic. Sige. Environmental is something that was added actually because sahay kay this labi na karon no with the climate change. Grabe jud, isa ka sa maka-stress no kayang init. Kana ganing ang feeling na wa pa ka kagawas pero ug bago pa kang naligo pero naligo na ka for the second time around sa imong singot. So mo ginang experience og kaigang nako. Yeah. Environmental wellness means taking care of our global environment, your personal surroundings. So yes to no to single use plastics no, using of your tumbler. Oo. Sige, dili for the clout ang tumbler ha. But nga na og tubig. Dili kay ilimnon. Sige, maayon na. Also, in terms of wellness in your room or in your workspaces, syempre, how can you think like clearly, organized, no? If ang imo pong palibot, kaya dili kakatag. So, syempre, declutter your room. Clean your room. And have a good space for learning or working. Then, syempre, ito, our financial wellness. At least, naalang man tay, gamay, not necessary good na super dako na yun na ipon, but if wala man gud tayo makuot-kuot no at times of need, it would be very stressful on our part. So, the key also here is to look into our needs and wants. So, maubaya na no, labi mag-atubang na tag Lazada, Shopee, and ug kaninghay nanay bag-o pagkaroon no kanang TikTok shop, bag-o ra gyud nako nagi-control myself, and good thing anang TikTok shop kay naka na goods nako ana, because once you're with and upfront with that online shops no, the tendency to be impulsive. Kay kuyaw kag mga marketing strats no, liman katong payong na ilambos-lambos niya di maguba, di kinsa di kapalit. O diba ka namang inana ba, so ikaw okay, let's buy, add to carts, makaisip ka hala uy nag A to Z naman akong payong ning palit mo kog payong, needs wants no. Diyan papasok na naman. Okay, another thing to consider. Then eto, spiritual wellness, the process of understanding and connecting to your higher being, to whomever you believe higher than you. So we can engage it through usual na prayer time na to, just having some time alone. And then activities such as the mindfulness, like meditations, breathing exercise, is an incorporation of emotional na siya, no? Then also you can insert there the spiritual na po na siya na activity, and mental. So the mix of different areas na ang inyong gina-target. So sa inyo, for you, in terms of wellness right now, asa kaya diri ang inyong usually na nahimo or pwede pa ninyo himuan, plano pa ninyo, and what are your wellness activities? Sige, kasi being at school, I understand your level of stresses because apart from being a student, some of you are also workers. Some of you can probably be a parent. Some of you are into businesses or other things that stresses you. That is why it's very important that we have to look into our wellness. What are our self-care activities? Sige. Sample daw of your self-care activities, be? That's nice, Ivan. Spiritual activities. How about the others? Those thing at my back is something na kana ganing napalitan ako ni sa SM, kana yung color, ano siya na, paint the color, mali. Paint the number, my gosh. Kana na yung number, tas na specific na kuan. So, in that way, I am engaging myself into the creative part, tapos targeting emotions, targeting the mental and the physical. And what is good whenever I do this activity, it is therapeutic in the sense that I am in focus. I am in my present. So that is just some of the activities, yes, from Mariano Art Therapy. I also have this kind of journal na meron siyang coloring like this. So through engaging into arts, it can help you be mindful. Whenever na-cluttered kayo akong thoughts or na ako'y things that I have to decide on and ka-launch kaya akong huna-una, I take a moment yun to pause and at least stop for 30 minutes. So kana. Or you can also do journaling. There are at times that your thoughts and feelings cannot be put into like a word kung imo siyang iingon. Pero you can do it through writing. So you can have that sample. Another thing, kinsa diri ang into active lifestyle, na ba diri naga-basketball? Oo. Basketball man pero sa cellphone, ay tudlo ra jud ninyo ng liho. Kanang ano gyud, kanang napasingot jud ka. Oo. Walking is the simplest form of exercise. Mana na sila, ma'am, ayaw jud may nag-walking kay ang campus, grabe walking. Yeah. Yes, correlate jud ko dara because I have been a lecturer for the psychology graduating for their mock board. Medyo hugs kayong baktas. Kanang grabe jud exercise ani ay. Oo. So welcome to UM kaayo. I've been there for mga 2 to 3 weeks at ako every day afternoon last month na adara sa inyong campus, UM campus. So yes, ganun. Or other things. During pandemic, na-into pud ko anang kuan mga planting. Kamo pud ba planting? Yeah, maayo na siya. Ay, speaking of procrastination, balikan ko lang yan ha. Procrastination ng atong pagtinapulan is actually an outside facade. Is kanang murag effect lang siya ba of our internal feelings. When we are anxious, at times we procrastinate. Ngano, mahadlok man ta muhimo ani. So magtinapulan ta. Wala ta kabalo no, pero it could be the reason behind the procrastination. Or because we lack confidence in ourselves. That is why we opt to not to do this thing. So it's the fear and anxiety also of doing the task because we might not know what to do. Or it's simply because you are so tired, not physically, but emotionally and mentally. That is why you cannot proceed to another task. That's why you procrastinate. So something to think of. And another thing is, yun nga, mga physical activities. Mine, because of this time of pandemic, kasagsagan sa pandemic, I have been into free diving. Aside from the physical effects of free diving to me, it's a good thing for me for mindfulness. Ang focus na ko ilalom sa dagat and ang control sa breathing. And that is when you realize how breathing is important. And every day, diba? The moment we wake up, are we conscious of how we breathe? Diba? Dili naman. And see, when you are in an anxious situation, diha na niyo ma-realize na, hala, galisod ko og hinga. Diba? Because we feel not grateful about having it. That's why, wala lang siya para sa tuwa. So again, something that we have to consider to build one's resilient is, again, to make ways for our wellness, just like this and just what has been shared earlier. And another thing that can help us build our resilience is through just being, wait lang, ayaw niya mag-next. Yan, being grateful for the things that we have. So right now, what are you grateful today? Can you just cite one? It doesn't mean really big, but something that you are grateful. Just today. Hala, wala. Wao na gyud mo niya ba? Ay, dili di ay. Sige, gusto dyan mo? Kuyawan. Tao. Yay. Wow. Same with you. Meeting all of you. Yeah. But take note, gratitude should not like i-ano ninyo na something big dayo na, ay, karon nga wala ko'y masayad kaya wala may something big na nahitabo sa ako. That is the reason why we have to practice gratitude. Because the smallest things, dili nato mapansin. No, kung inana. But if we are grateful, we get to see even the small details, even the uneasiness, even the hardship that we experience on that day. And that is something that talks about growth mindset. Your mental and emotional well-being will be targeted dun, ana. Example, nagulat kag jeep, 30 minutes na kadara, wag gihapon ka nakasakay. Diba? Usual experience, kasuko, kalagot. But if you would try to see the greater picture on that ba, ikaw, nagdali kag uli kay unsa imong rason kaya. Probably ang mga nakauna sa imuha, they can perform better na kuan kasi mga ginikanan sila, magluto pa to sila, mangandam pa to sila para silang anak, sige na lang. Ulat na lang sa tao. Tapos taon-taon na kay nakit-an friend, diba? So meaning blessing ang padugay-dugay nimo kay nakit-an nimo imong long lost friend. Nagkatsikahan mo, naka-update pa noon ka sa kinabuhi sa uban. Ay, nakimarites na di ay, nahin na po na siya. But anyways, just like example of how you see your experiences in your situation ba? Kumbaga inana. Sige? So again, just keep it coming. Alad, medyo maglisod lagi sila og kuan site sa ilahang gratitude dere or things that they are grateful for today. Or wala lang na jud ko'y participant dere. So unsa man gyud? Char. Oo. Or namiya na ba mo sama niya? Ay, dili di ay. Unsa good? Well, we are 101 here. So nganong murag 1 2 3 4 naman lang ang naa dinhi. Okay. Sige. And just keep it coming. No? Again, gratitude is very essential to build one's resilience. And with that being said, this is another thing that you can do. You can just follow this template or you can add more to this one. Ideally, it's 90 days, so 3 months for you to eventually. First month is struggle pa man jud ano kasi bago sa imuha if you want to do something. Then challenge to maintain. Then eventually, when you're able to grasp what you are doing, mag-continue na siya. So just like the example, your goal is to lose weight. Your action is, sige, mag-intermittent diet or fasting. Then duration for 30 days, ang i-measure kay, may bala na ko kung success ang gihimo. Kung in 30 days, nag-less kog 5 to 7 kilograms. Or in 90 days, na ako'y 50 to 20 kilograms na less. Then, I will mark it completed or nag-succeed ko or nag-fail ko. So that becomes then the assessment. When I succeed, unsa kaya akong gihimo para ma-achieve to siya gyud? Then, unsa pa akong pwede buhaton so that I can further do it? Siyempre, if you can improve it more than padayon. Then if you fail, what are the things or factors that made me fail on this aspect? What can I change? What can I do more on this? So, yan. Kung pwede, gawin nyo. As much as I want you to, like, let's do it, no, individually and all, because of our time limitations, yun lang naman. Basta I'm trying to give you this kind of template and try to add. And actually, guys, very helpful ni siya sa ako, especially kato kasagsagan dyan ng pandemic na board ko niya, nag-atubang lag ka na ganing, sa tawag, mga kanang mga marketplace, Lazada, Shopee, wala, uy, kaguol jud, uy, nga, magsige naman lag, magtapok na lang imong kuan ba, taod-taod, kay na parcel, dili naman jud ni maayo ba, pero board kay ka, yung murag dito imong kuan ba, yung murag, magsige naman lang kag mine. There was a time na I've spent for like mga 3 hours, di ba dugay nang nakatry mo, anak na mag-mine, mga sinina ba na dira, dugay ba kayo no, kay competitive po ang person, dili ko makamine ha. So, the more niya, pag makamine na ka, lang isa lang, jud ay imong ibutang sa imong cart, so magsikag mine. Pag napagkuan mo ba, gana na ani, oy. So, dihan ako na siya gibutang sa financial. Akong goal is to limit, yun. Kung not totally tanggalon, kay murag, lisod man ang mga activities na tanggalon, dayon nimo siya automatic, at least to lessen the behavior, ang goal. And eventually, I did. For 2 months, gyud to, nawala jud ko'y, ano sa tawag ani? Wala ko'y spendings dito. Alangan, ikaw ba'y mag-delete og app? But that is a challenge. Kasi syempre, you've been used to. Oo. And eventually, it is a success. And after that, I became more mindful. And start na ko siya balik ang akong app, then to the point na I became mindful. Then, sobrang ka mindful, bago mo palit, mag-deliberate pa after pila pa ka days, bago na po mo palit. So, that becomes now my attitude when I have something na gusto paliton, magdebate pa na ang decision making ko. Is it a need or a want? Karon ba paliton? Pwede next week, next month, or dili na lang yun. So, something in a nutshell. So, I hope you are getting my point why we have to have, if possible, to have like this. Kasi, imagine, nakay template na inani, pero nala siya sa imong utok. Sure jud ka, mabuhat nimo. Remember that we are kanang very visual learners kay ta. We get to, whatever we see, we try to do, we try to challenge, and we try to really manifest or do it, no? Pero ug wala tayo makitaan, at times, we assume that it's just fine, pero dili di ay. So, something that you have to take note. And speaking of, eto, template para writing, tapos going back earlier, katong the drawing picture, di ba most of those kay negative self-talk. One way to counter negative self-talk is to do positive self-talk. How? Ako adyo diri is, nabuak lang to kung isa, pero nakoy salamin diri, naapo ko'y sa amin diri, napadyo ko'y gamay pagid na sa amin. What's the purpose of my mirrors? During pandemic time, good, gamit kayo dyan yung mga sa amin sa kwarto. There were times that I am so in distress and feeling anxious, because that's the time also that I have taken my second master's, which is katong master's in psychology, major in clinical psych. And I happen to have very kanang standards kaayo na professor na. Kalimot siguro si ma'am na Saturday lang among klase, pero murag everyday may klase. Kanang murag anak gani. Tapos on top of that is I am working. I have a lot of counseling cases to really attend to that time ba. So medyo struggle jud kayo. So I have experienced anxiety to the point na i-off kunyog sunduga ha. I-off na ako ang camera, tapos masandig lang ko dari. Tapos mag-message lang ko sa ilahan na, I'm sorry, na ako'y emergency, na ako'y session, na ako'y ani, but sa tinuod lang, dili ko kastorya. Murag ni ok akong sa tawagan na, akong tang. Tapos kulbaan kay ko, niya imagine among klase 2 subjects pa jud ko saya. 8 to 12 na ko siya nga klase og 5 to 9. Kasi full of sked kasi ako that time. Sumurag, di na ko nagainom og kape, pero mura kog nilaklak og 1 ka litrong kape. Inana akong kakulba. Because probably of the idea also na guidance counselor na mong ko. So na sila expectations sa ako ba nga licensed guidance counselor, psychometrician, tapos nag-second masters ko niyo. Ang feeling nila mo na, lahod mo na siya, ana ba? So the anxiety kicks in. So the mirror is very helpful to me because that is where I exercise positive self-talk. Like, I try to evaluate myself. Dito ko nagastorya nun. Nganong nakulbaan ka? Ginainanan ako akong self. Asa gagikan ang kakulba, tapos balik na pod ko sa iyahan, no? Tanawa, ang imong makita. What you're looking right now, umana na pod ko. So, just try to speak something more beautiful instead of something na nakadaot sa mo na, dili nimo kaya, kadlukay ka, diliin ana. More of the positive. Then also, I even tried putting quotes. Diba, as I've mentioned, very visuals man ta, like quotes. Like, life is beautiful. Mga inana, like, aning na po sa ko, 110 ako na, laugh often, live well, love much. Mga reminders lang good nimo, like every day, or something that you are valued, that you are important, na anywhere na makita nimo, especially on your distressing moments, and it's kinda relieving to you. So, that's the thing. That is just for me. I'm not saying that it will be effective to you, but you might try if you like. And I have clients na ang effective sa kanila is yung sa mirror or sa mga cabinets nila is nagalagay sila ng mga encouraging quotes. Like ang ang ginagol sa ila is to increase the behavior. Like every day, mag-try sila o pangita or himog ilahang quotes ba or ang ilahang life mantra. Pilit na nila. Ang goal nila is after a month, kung pwede, mapuno nila ang isa ka sign. And then eventually, it's healthy. So, you might like to consider. And dyan din papasok yung pagiging grateful na gratitude. And with that, hopefully with our short session, you're able to understand what is adversity, the sources of adversity, in a way, how important adversity is, how we can strengthen our resilience, and what are the ways to keep up with our wellness. And with that, can we, like, you can just sing wherever you are right now with this song called Grateful.
The things I had to go through, a lot of battles left me battered and bruised, and I was shattered from my feet to. I was broken, there were times I rolling and cries, down to my last hands, so convinced that I was over, but I had to fight. There's a and I was running down. The pain was weighing me down. Together, and I pulled myself out. Learn a lesson. There's a hell is. But that's when he's trying. I got no regrets. And I got loneliness. You're my blessing. You're my blessing. But I'm very cause I got me. Everything I was change. That evil heart made mistake I made.
And yes, thank you so much once again for having me here. And I hope again with our short learning session, you're able to relearn something, ponder on some important things that will be very helpful to you as, yes, educators. Thank you once again.
All right, so thank you so much, Ma'am Kathleen, for that very insightful delivery of the topic. Indeed, this webinar helps us address the common challenges associated to resilience. It also helps us to understand the importance of resilience, explore the various factors that can affect one's resiliency, identify the different strategies to improve resilience for better holistic growth, and last, assess oneself and create action plan for success. Again, thank you so much, ma'am. And now, it's time for your clarifications for this morning session's webinar topic. Please let me know by typing on the chat box below or by clicking the raise hand in the Zoom reaction button, and our guest speaker will be glad to address your questions. Alright, so murag na ako'y nakitaan ka ganina question from Nino ba yun? Okay, nawala yata. Asan naman to? Okay, parang nawala siya. But I guess na yung nag-question ganina. Eto. Eto from Ilustrado, May Karen Tobias. So, here is the question. Mother na po ako, ma'am. Mahulog na ba na gina-pressure ang bata na kailangan na taas ang grades kay aron dali lang maka-avail sa mga scholarship ang dili mag-stake sa 75 ang grades na okay ra at least passing grades. Ako ginaingon sa ako kasan na sa reality ang high grades kay isa sa mga qualifications para sa scholarship and para maabot ang dreams in life. So, ang question niya, ma'am, is mahulog na ba daw, ma'am, nga gina-pressure niya yung son?
Depends on the delivery actually and how it was being explained. That's the key. And papasok na naman dyan ang education, no? Just putting on very good na kanang ginabutang niya ang realities ba? Ginaingon na true. Kasi yun man talaga. But murag kung ikuan jud na ay murag punishment pag dili niya makuha na inana gani certain things like that becomes a pressure probably to that child. And probably just check sa imuhang kid if nagets ba niya o are you on the same page. Kasi kung ang iyang take on that is like something na negative, then again, punta na naman ta sa education, try to teach him, inculcate him values that are essential nga nung inana. So, tanan mistoryahan man good. It matters on how you communicate. Ana lang yun. Pero kung imo na siyang ginabunalan, kay tungod ani, so kana another thing na gina siya. I hope I am able to address. Hindi ko kasi mabigay talaga ang clear picture kasi wala man talaga akong, we cannot say for the child kung kamusta. Pero yun lang siguro, dear, kung pwede, storyahon yung mga anak. Kung nag-gets ba niya ang ginapasabot ni mama. Kaya as mama and based on your experience, inaana. Nakanagong maning kamot. And another way siguro is not putting pressure, not the pressure, but let's put in this way, inspire. Inspire him to get better on class so that, So see, kung tan-awon imong context ba, i-pressure imong anak na magtaas ang grado to inspiring him to get better grades. Yun. Thank you.
All right, so thank you daw po, ma'am, from Tobias. Okay, another question. So you can type it in the chat box below or you can raise your hand using the Zoom reaction button. Okay, wala na yung mga utana. Alright, so I guess
kung wala pa niya sa utan, kaya mabalik mo daw ta Miss Christine, so di na lang daw sila mga di na lang daw sila mga tana.
Okay, so alright, so I guess no one would like to raise their questions. Mura klaro ra jud kay nimo pagka-explain ma'am, siguro nga sila pangutana. Okay, kay wala na may mag-question, so we will be the one to ask questions to our participants na lang. Okay, Ramana. So dili mo pala ka kay these questions will be worth a prize for 1 million and a house and lot lang naman. Very kagamay lang. Alright, so the mechanics of this is paunahan to. Kung sino yung maka-chat sa ating chat box ng tamang answer, will be receiving the prize worth of 30 pesos lang naman. 30 pesos GCash. So, okay. So, are you ready, keyboard warriors? Ready na ba? Okay, stretching na itong mga kamot dira. Wait lang. Alright. So, okay. So, in 3, 2, 1. Question number 1. CTE-CSG officers, technical team, please patabang kung mag-identify kung kinsa ang first na naka-answer. Okay, question number 1. Give at least 3 types of adversity. Again, give at least 3 types of adversity. Okay, for 30 pesos GCash, ayun, from ano ba to? From Yis, Lumain, Christopher John. Okay, 3. Physical adversity, emotional adversity, and spiritual adversity. Okay, another question. Okay, another question. Question number 2. What is the difference between fear and anxiety? The difference between fear and anxiety. Again, what is the difference between ayun? From yes again. Participative ba ng mga yisoy? From Himelga Nicole, fear is a real danger while anxiety is imagined danger. Okay. Okay. Here's to our last question. Last na ba? Tama ba? Okay, last question. Give one potential helicopter parenting. Give one potential symptoms of helicopter parenting. Okay, last two pa pala. Okay, from yeast again. Tama ba to? Overprotective. Okay, tama. From Bokbok, Jubian. Okay. So, another question. Last na talaga to. Last na talaga. Okay, eto. Mas madali. What is the other term for helicopter parenting? Parang ano lang siya. Follow-up question. Other term for helicopter parenting. What's that term? Ayun. Naka-16 na ni si Jubian. Ay, ayun na pala. Agent Felizardo Mecon, shadow parenting. Okay. So that concludes our question and answer portion. All right, so meron ba mag-share ng kanilang mga key takeaways from today's webinar topic? Maghatag yapon mig 30 pesos GCash for those who can share their key takeaways from Ma'am Kathleen's talk about strengthening resilience. Yes po, preferably oral. Okay, can we have Sir Ivan Dave Panayas from Elites?
Hello po, good afternoon. Good morning.
Good morning,
po.
sir.
Okay, my takeaways is that since we are actually we are still in the middle of pandemic, and then we are also a student, especially in my case, I am a working student. I think it's important to have a balanced life. We should not always focus more on the academe, but we should also focus on the other aspect of our lives. For example, spiritual, mental, especially environmental activities, because as we have noticed, our world is deteriorating. So our life depends on it. As what Mom have said, we should also participate on those types of activities because it's like a wholesome activities, and it's also vital to have a balanced life. And to add more to what Karen Evasco have said, it could save our home, our planet, and a better place to live in. So that's my takeaways, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Sir Ivan. Okay, other one, meron pa bang mag-share ng kanilang key takeaways? Okay. So if wala na, I just want to share to you akong gisulat diri sa akong small notebook. Gisulat na ko itong remarkable na introductory ni Ma'am nga despite sa kauga which stands for our adversity, magpadayon kitang mamulak sama sa sunflower which symbolize resilience. Okay, so as we are nearing the end of our webinar this morning, we encourage everyone to fill out the evaluation form sent in the chat box. Again, we encourage everyone to fill out the evaluation form sent in the chat box. And now, to recognize the excellence and expertise shared to us by our guest speaker today, we would like to give this certificate of appreciation. All right, technical team. Ayun. Okay, so please allow me to read the citation. Certificate of Appreciation is proudly presented to Ma'am Kathleen Kit J. Abakita for sharing her invaluable insights and expertise as guest speaker during the conduct of the second webinar of EduKumustahan 2023, a joint program for mental health awareness and educational webinar series entitled Strengthening Resilience, Strategies for Cognitive, Emotional, and Social Development, with the revolving theme of expanding support for students' mental health and excellence and educational context, held last May 2023 from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. online via Zoom meeting platform, given on the second day of May 2023 at the University of Mindanao Main Campus, Matina, Davao City. Signed, Mr. Nilbert N. Runner, CTE-CSG President. Signed also by Ma'am Jocelyn B. Bacasmot, Dean of the College of Teacher Education, and Sir Arnold J. A. Ilag-Ilag, our CTE-CSG advisor. Again, thank you so much, Ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you soon.
And on behalf of the committees of this webinar, we would like to commend the participating students that showed virtual support and active participation even in distance. So to all the participants here today, you will receive this certificate of participation after filling out the evaluation form sent in the chat box. All right, let me read the citation. Certificate of participation is hereby presented to name of student for his or her active participation during the conduct of the second webinar of EduKumustahan 2023, a joint program for mental health awareness and educational webinar series entitled Strengthening Resilience, Strategies for Cognitive, Emotional, and Social Development, with the revolving theme of expanding support for students' mental health and excellence in educational context, held last May 2023 from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. online via Zoom meeting platform, given on the second day of May 2023 at the University of Mindanao Main Campus, Matina, Davao City. Signed, Mr. Nilbert N. Runner, President of the CTE-CSG. Signed also by our Dean of the College of Teacher Education, Ma'am Jocelyn B. Bacasmot, and Sir Arnold J. Ilag-Ilag, our CTE-CSG advisor. Okay, so for the updates and announcements from our administration, may we call on Ms. EJF Lugmao, our CTE-CSG Public Information Officer.
Good day, CT excellent people. I hope this message finds you well and that you have been enjoying our EduKumustahan 2023 webinar series. We have recently concluded our first webinar last April 29, 2023, which was focused on the importance of cognitive, emotional, and social development. Our second webinar, Building Resilience, Strategies for Cognitive, Emotional, and Social Development, is currently ongoing, and we are delighted to see your active participation for today's webinar, as well as to you, Ms. Kathleen Kit Abakita, for accepting our invitation and sharing such insightful webinar session. Moving forward, we have 4 more webinars lined up, each tackling various aspects of education and development. We have Webinar 3, Strategic Lesson Planning, a key to unlocking your learning potential, that will commence this afternoon at exactly 1 p.m. and hoping to see you there, Wolves. Our Webinar 4, The Power of Connection, Exploring the Social Dimensions of Teaching and Learning. Webinar 5, Maximizing Online Resources for Effective Research. And our Webinar 6, Breaking Barriers, Exploring Gender and Development in Education Context. As always, we value your feedback and invite you to fill out the evaluation form after each webinar to help us improve and tailor our content to your needs. Please note that screenshots of the participants were taken during the webinar, so we kindly ask those who did not attend to not fill out the form. To stay updated on all the latest details and information, please make sure to stay tuned to our official channels and keep an eye out for any announcements. We kindly remind you to mark your calendars and save the dates for our upcoming webinars. We promise to provide more valuable insights and strategies to enhance your holistic learning experience. Thank you for your continued support, and we look forward to seeing you in our future webinars and events.
Thank you so much, Miss PIO. And to formally close this morning session's webinar program, let me call in our ever outstanding CTE-CSG Treasurer, no other than Mr. John Darrell L. Young.
Good morning. I am audible.
Yes,
Madungog ko.
Tresh. Yes po.
Wait. For a while lang. To our ever dynamic college dean, Dr. Jocelyn B. Bacasmot, to our distinguished program heads, BS Ed program head, Sir Joey C. Oliveros, to our BS NED, BEd, BC Ed program head, Ma'am Charmaine V. Banyes, and to our BPE program head, Sir Junald J. R. Bersano, to the faculty and staff of the CTE, to the aspiring educators from first year to fourth year, and to our guest speaker, Ma'am Kathleen Kate G. J. Abakita. Good morning. Thank you to everyone who joined us today for our second webinar on building resilience strategies for cognitive, emotional, and social development. We hope you found the discussion insightful and informative. As we navigate the challenges of the modern world, resilience has become a critical skill for individuals to develop. Our speakers today shared valuable insights on the strategies that can help us build resilience across various domains of our lives. Remember, resilience isn't about avoiding difficult situations, but rather it's about your ability to adapt and overcome them. As the famous quote by Maya Angelou goes, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. By practicing the strategies shared today, we can strengthen our cognitive, emotional, and social skills and better cope with life's challenges. Keep in mind that building resilience is a process and it takes time and effort to develop. But with the right mindset and strategies, you can overcome challenges and emerge stronger than before. Thank you once again for joining us today, and we hope to see you in our future webinars.
And that's it. Thank you so much, Mr. Treasurer. So before we conclude for this morning session's webinar, let's have our photo opportunity first to be facilitated by our CTE-CSG auditor, Miss Jemima Celine P. Amada.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, our speaker, students, and also teachers. Finally, photo opportunity na jud. Time na para ipakita ang kagwapo o kagwapa sa mga taga-UM o mga visitors, and of course, our speaker, Ma'am Kathleen. Okay, turn on your cameras, guys, para ma-appeal mo. Ma-appealin yung kagwapa jud o kagwapo. Okay. So, for our first slide, ready na inyong pinakagwapa na smile and gwapo na smile. 1, 2, 3. Wait lang. Ha? Okay. Mas gwapo FE. Wait lang. Medyo nawala ko. Sorry, naghang siya. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. Next slide. Okay, ready inyong mga smiles, mga pretty smiles. 1, 2, 3. Okay, slide number 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And last slide. 1, 2, 3. Ayan. Okay na po, press Chris.
Okay, so thank you so much, Jem. So this might be the end of our first session of webinar for today, but we hope that the key takeaways we knew will uplift our spirit, and together let us nurture our mental health and prioritize our well-being. This webinar session will not be possible without your presence with us. So in behalf of the CTE-CSG officers and representatives, thank you very much for making it a success. This has been your host, Christine Nicole Idana, leaving you with a quote, "Padayon mga future magtutudlo." Have a wonderful day ahead, and may God bless us all.
Ayan, thank you so much, the excellent people. But see you this afternoon for our webinar 4, which is intended for the strategic lesson planning, the key to unlocking your teaching potential. So see you this afternoon, same link lang po tayo, and pwede kayong mag-leave and babalik lang mamaya. So just take your lunch and yeah, do your endeavors while may break pa tayo. See you this afternoon at 1 p.m. Same link for the webinar 4 entitled Strategic Lesson Planning, the key for unlocking your teaching potential. And our speaker is from Bernardo de Carpio National High School. And he is no other than Sir Emir Rasgo. See you this afternoon, mga ga, and happy eating. Sir, iwan muna tayo. Pabilin sa top na meeting. And then, babalik lang mamaya for the webinar 3. All right, thank you so much for your participation, and your certificates will